Hello, everyone. This is Kevin, your entrepreneur. Um, let's see here. It's New Year's Day, so 2016 is officially over. 2017 has begun, and I just want my friend back. That's what I want most for New Year's Eve. Or New Year's. I just want my friend back. But I don't know if that's gonna. Well, anyway, that's such a weird, bizarre way to start it. Let's start over. Hello, this is Kevin, your entrepreneur, and let's talk about New Year's Eve and New Year's Day because boy, was it not nearly as profitable this year as it was in previous years. And a part of it's probably the luck of the draw for me. I definitely got screwed when it comes to rides. Last couple of years, I got rides that were a very long distance, well, at least some of them, and a very high surges. This year, with the exception of one ride, which was I think like 13 miles, all the rides were less than 5. It was ridiculous. It was so stupid. I couldn't stand it. But also, the surge really wasn't there. And you have to look and wonder what happened. Like, what happened? Why wasn't the surge there? Why wasn't the demand there? Well, I have two theories. One, an event that I kind of foresaw being a problem, and the other is an event that I didn't foresee being a problem, but it wouldn't surprise me if it was. We'll start with the second one. It rained a little here in Southern California, and I hate to say it, but people from Southern California, I'm sorry, you guys are wimps. You guys are absolute wimps. Like, it rains just a little bit and nobody wants to do anything. Nobody wants to do anything at all. It's even kind of weird because it's kind of interesting how the dynamics shift on Uber and Lyft in the rain. Because when it's raining in Southern California, all of these decent sized trips, people don't want to go do them. But you'll get a ton of 3-block trips from people who could easily walk someplace, but they don't want to get a little wet, even if it's not raining that hard. And so the rain might have had something to do with that. I don't know. I can't prove that, but it wouldn't surprise me. And again, it didn't rain hard. In fact, it was largely not raining after 7:30, but a little rain, so. But the key thing that I think affected the surge in the money making is, frankly, I think the upfront pricing did finally do us in. I sort of suspected this might be an issue because here's the thing: Uber does consider the surge to be a problem, and it's a problem that needs to be solved. It's a marketing failure in their eyes, which I can't totally disagree with. Nobody likes a surge, except the drivers. And the last couple New Year's Eves, people got killed on surges. So Uber was more or less determined to not only kill the surge, but to try to make sure people were aware of what they were paying. Well, they accomplished this in two ways. The first thing they did is that they actually did have boost guarantees. Now, they weren't huge. They're like 1.8. But they were guarantees, and so they've been conditioning people to drive on Uber on the weekends for these boost guarantees. And with so many people driving for the boost guarantees as well as the promise of a big payday from the previous years past, I think there were more Uber and Lyft drivers than there have ever been before on New Year's Eve. At least in this area there were. But here's the other thing, and this is the key thing. Uber no longer hides what the trip is going to cost. First of all, you have to put a destination in right now. Secondly, when someone that requests a ride and it's surging, they no longer ask to confirm the surge. They don't put in the 8.1 or whatever it's going to be and ask to confirm the surge. What they do is they give a price. They say this is how much it's going to cost, and they make a note. Hey, the price might be more because it's busy. And that's essentially a surge. They're not acknowledging, they're kind of acknowledging that the surge is there, but they're not telling people it's there. What they're doing is they're giving them an upfront price. And so that means you have people who are way less willing to gamble on a surge. Because if it's surging 5.0, and there was some 5.0 surging I didn't get a single hit on a 5.0 surging, but if someone requests a ride during a 5.0 surge and they see that that ride is going to cost $60, they will wait 20 minutes to see if they can get it down to 10. It's human nature. I don't blame them for doing it. I don't. It's smart. If you can wait 20 minutes and save $40 or whatever it is, I would do it. I'm not blaming the passengers for this. They have every right to save money legitimately, and this is a perfectly legitimate way to save money. However, because people aren't making those requests, the surge isn't going as high as it normally does. Not only that, when it does go high, people aren't requesting the Ubers or they're not confirming them, so they're basically waiting the surge out. This ended up being a huge, huge problem, I think, because, last year I got a 4.2 surge from Orange County to Pasadena, and that trip was almost $300. Now, had what this Uber system had been under today, back then, they would have seen up front it was going to cost them $300, and they probably wouldn't have requested the ride. They would have waited it out. So, yes, Uber has, in effect, killed the surge. And even though some people still paid surge, even though, with the exception of, I think, one ride, they were all surges, and that one ride that wasn't was a boost ride, so I still got something extra. It wasn't nearly what it was the last couple of years, and then to top it all off, all of my rides were short. Every single one of them, except for that one 13-mile ride, but it was depressing. In fact, in a rare twist, I actually think I made more money before midnight, thanks to Lyft's hourly guarantees, than I did after midnight because of the prime time and the Uber, the Uber surges. It was like, wow, this is just such a great way to end the year. Like, I knew that the $800 in 8 hours last year, that was probably a fluke. I think I do acknowledge I got lucky. And the year before that, it was still like $600 or $700. It's just so disappointing. So what did I make this year? I made $324.18. Okay, I did get $30 in cash tips, so let's just say it's $350. We'll round it $350, and I think I was on the app for like 5 to 6 hours. I'd have to double check. Now, again, that's better than most days. Not gonna lie, can't complain too much. I know, but it's still a far cry. Like, if we were working under last year's model, that would have probably been closer to $600 or $700. It was just, if I had gotten one 22-mile ride on a 4 or 5 times surge, that would have been a huge boost. So, I guess the lesson in all this is that New Year's Eve is certainly a great time to drive. There is no doubt about that. You will make money. And if you get lucky, you will make a lot of money. However, I wonder if the days of having $1,000 nights on New Year's Eve are over, because I think with the upfront pricing, and again, for the consumer standpoint, I understand it. In fact, it's way better for consumers to know exactly what they're paying upfront before they call us, so that they're not surprised later on, because I can guarantee you when they find out what they're going to pay later on down the road, that's when you get 1 stars, regardless how good your service was. But I think those days are over. We're just going to have to accept that New Year's Eve will definitely be more busy than usual. You will make more money than you usually will, but it's not going to be like you can pay your rent off in one night like you could in the past. I think those days are officially over, and we're going to have to see how determined Uber and Lyft are to keep the things from surging, because if they can get through this year without there being any news reports that people were flabbergasted by their Uber or Lyft bills in the morning, then this would have been a success for them. This would have been a huge PR coup that they were able to avoid negative publicity on the surge pricing. But yeah, it was a little disappointing. And I just want to talk to my friend. I want to talk to my friend and complain, but I can't. So I'm making a YouTube video with my subscribers, so I can complain to them, I guess. Although this is, I guess, a little informative for you guys too. Is it informative? Now it's time. I am truly, I know I say this all the time, and I know we sort of have to encourage people to interact with the video, the comment section, and we always say to comment below. But this time, I really do want to know, what was New Year's Eve like to you? How many hours did you work? What did you make? What was the highest surge you got? Were the trips long or short? I really do genuinely want to know. I want to see if this is just me getting unlucky this year, or if it was like a genuine problem and that this is really a sign that things are going to be different from now on. I would love to know. So please, please comment below if you drove on New Year's Eve and New Year's. I so want to know that. And of course, you can like, favorite, share, subscribe if you want, and flame responsibly. And Happy New Year 2017. We can only go up from here, folks. We can only go up from here.